Well, Christopher Cole is head of immigration at the Parker Rhodes Hickmotts Solicitors firm. He told me about the difficulties he'd encountered when trying to return people to their country of origin.
There's no lawful way to come into the European Union to claim asylum, so naturally asylum seekers come here through unlawful means, through smuggling, and so they very rarely have any form of identification. They don't turn up with a passport or their identity card. So trying to prove your identity when you come usually from a country that has difficulties, to say the least, then it can be problematic proving who you are, even if you want to return at the end of the asylum process. I have a client who is Liberian and has been in the country for around 10 years now, always said he's Liberian, but the Home Office doubt that, and they think perhaps he comes from Nigeria or a different West African country. He's had a number of interviews with the Liberian authorities, and they don't accept his identity, and he has nothing to prove this. He's then had interviews with members of the Nigerian authorities, and they don't accept that he's Nigerian either. Now, this man has been through the system. He now is settled here with a partner, and a British partner and British children. He wants to return voluntarily to make an application to come back lawfully, but he can't do it because he can't prove his identity, and no country will accept him. It can cause real problems.
Right, so when the EU Interior Ministers say they want more effective readmission deals with countries of origin outside the EU, that doesn't sound as though it will be straightforward.
It doesn't sound it will be straightforward. I think there will be difficulties. I think it's certainly a very laudable aim. I think that the integrity of the asylum system is damaged when, at the end of the process, people can't be returned to the country of origin. I think the general public would have a lot more faith in the system if they knew that after asylum seekers had a fair hearing, and if it's decided that they don't meet the terms of the Refugee Convention, then they ought to be able to be returned to their country of origin.
What about detentions? They're talking about more detention. Will that make a difference?
I can't really see that is going to make a huge difference. I can see that at the end of the process, if it, as a last resort to ensure the return of people to their country of origin, then detention could be a possibility. But if the person doesn't have the relevant documentation, or their country won't accept them for one reason or another, then detention really isn't going to help anybody.
And looking at things in the round, will this, if it is successful, make a significant impact on the overall migration crisis in Europe?
I don't think it's going to make particular difference to the current situation. If we look at the tens, the hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers that are entering the European Union at present, the vast majority of them are from countries where there really is a fear of persecution, Syria, for example. So the vast majority will be allowed to stay because they are genuine refugees. The numbers that we're talking about in terms of undocumented failed asylum seekers is very small in terms of the overall number of refugees and asylum seekers in the European Union at present. The agreement in terms of being able to redocument and return failed asylum seekers is a political issue that needs to be dealt with, because it does make the system a bit of a laughing stock. If you can come here, you claim asylum, you go through a fair process, and at the end of it, then nothing happens for years on end. You think, well, what's the point in having a process in the first place?
Immigration lawyer Christopher Cole.